Okay, so here is the very late hurricane review, probably the latest, and hopefully the latest it will ever be. Is it going to be? Probably not. There'll probably be other times in my life where I gotta come back to really late, but I think that's actually become an advantage of this YouTube channel is now I can watch the Canes games because I feel an obligation to, because if I'm going to document how the Hurricanes are playing throughout time, I owe it to watch the game, even when circumstances like getting instead of 5 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, because I gotta get back to work tomorrow. But I figured, you know what? Kane's got a big win. Might as well enjoy it after being jet lagged and all that, because I flew back, which is why this game is coming late. So, to do a little bit of explaining, other than the brief, rough situation, the Reddit draft, is my mom figured out a way to get games through the cheapest version of cable possible, and I was out with friends during the Canes games because I'm like, I like to watch the games on a delay. Turns out I didn't know until I got home at the end of the third period. You can't watch the games on a delay. And the reason why I watch the games on a delay, my sister called it sociopathic, is because I hate commercials. And, you kind of get used to it. Like the first couple of games, it was hard to know, oh, I can just fast forward and check the score. But I'm used to watching the game on a delay now. So it's not a big deal to me. But back to the story at hand. And when I got back from my friend's house, I decided to turn on the game, saw the score, couldn't rewind or anything. And yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, I know the score now. Should I just watch a condensed version of the game? And then I'm like, that wouldn't be a good summary and all that. And yeah, so basically, this would have been a hockey game I would have missed, but I finally got home through snow. My car got stuck in the driveway, had to come out and get it out of the driveway. So, yeah, here we are. And I got here and I contemplated just going to bed, then doing a twofer. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get a lot of sleep tonight anyway. Why not do an episode of Hurricane Review on my night of bad sleep? Let's end a long, stressful day of my flight getting pushed back 4 hours, my whole flight path getting pushed back 4 hours by watching the Hurricanes win. Because I knew the Canes were going to win. And I got to tell you, I'm glad I watched this game because oh boy, was it a lot of fun. Now, to start off with the bad, slow start. That's it. That's all the bad. I mean, yeah, like I think the first 5 minutes of the game was flat out awful, but I think there's no point ranting about it because Carolina did what they could to make up for it in spades. Like, I mean, it's like if I choose to complain about a slow 5 minutes when basically other than that it was a perfect game. It's like I'm just ranting for the sake of ranting at that point. Even though I do like to address the negatives, it's like there's not really. It was a negative, and then Carolina just outdid themselves for the rest of the game. So, on to like for me, Carolina right now is a team that is perfectly hot. This team is so good right now, and the way they're playing, I think they're a team that can legit, knock on wood here, do something in the playoffs. They're at that point to me where I really for the first time since '09, I'm at the point where I really fully believe Carolina can really do something. They got a dangerous young core, and they're doing good asset management. Don Waddell, when you look at his GMing career with the Thrashers, let's talk about Galchenyuk. So Carolina didn't want Galchenyuk. They now traded away Galchenyuk and brought in two new assets. So they turned Ryan Dzingel, who was a good player but not fitting into the scheme, into three assets. One who already looks to be fitting in well with the Hurricane scheme, which is Cedric Paquette. Loved the way he played today. They got Korshkov, and then I'm trying to remember who else they got, but they got another player who can be on the taxi squad. So Ryan Dzingel has now become three different assets with the roster replacement. It's great asset management by Don Waddell. So, other than the great asset management by Don Waddell, look now in terms of yeah, the game was so good. I'm at a loss for words. That's how good Carolina played, and I'm really fucking tired. So there's that as well. But as for the game itself, what better way to talk about the contenders for the playoff game? Uh, Jacob Slavin, his defensive game is back to where it belongs. Jacob Slavin was making phenomenal defensive plays. All that was missing is for the offensive side to come back, which I'm 100% sure it will. I love you, Jacob Slavin. didn't get weird there. But yeah, his defensive game is back. And oh, you know what? I might as well show this off. So because it's the 2 year anniversary, I figured I'd wear this under the jersey. And I thought about, so yeah, so got my bunch of jerk shirt on as well on the 2 year anniversary. And while I collect my thoughts, Jake Bean getting 2 points in his getting his first. No, I don't think it was his first 2 points, but Jake Bean played well coming into the lineup as a replacement for Hayden Fleury. Nice to see him play and play pretty well tonight. Cedric Paquette, the new guy, talked about how much I love his game. I love me some physical fourth line grinders. Zach Cassian's my favorite player on the Oilers over Connor McDavid. I am weird like that. So Cedric Paquette coming in. I love Carolina's fourth line of Faust, Martinook, and Paquette. Love it. Like, I am in love with that line. I would marry that line if it was a hot girl. And then you have Svechnikov played well. Jordan Stahl was an animal. And then really I think they were the second line tonight, but to me they were kind of the first as well. Like, just Teravainen, Aho, and McGinn. All three of them, I could have gave it to either one of them. That line was just clicking tonight. And to me, while Teravainen and McGinn got more points, I want to give it to the unsung hero of that line. And he's not unsung. People were complimenting him all game long, but the closest you can get to being an unsung hero on a line where your line mates are getting 4 points each. And I think the reason they got 4 points each, other than their amazing game itself, is Aho. I don't think, without Aho, I don't think they get 4 points each. They probably get 2 points each. But Aho really, I think, was creating the scoring chances that resulted in the goal specifically. I think Aho or Seabass was just phenomenal tonight. I think Seabass might have had the best game of the season for any Hurricane other than the Svechnikov game. But yeah, that was honestly, other than the first 5 minutes, that was a perfect Hurricanes game. Reimer made some good saves. You can't really. There's not much else to talk about other than praise the game. If I try to add anything else, it'll be insanely repetitive. And but let's talk. I think we should comment down below not only what you guys thought in the game, not only comment down below not only what you thought of the game, but I think we should also have an F in the chat for Hurricanes legend Alex Galchenyuk. Okay, it was a really great 3 days with the guy, but you know, just sometimes you got to get rid of a guy. So I want to get an F in the chat for Hurricanes legend Alex Galchenyuk. This is the most devastating trade in Hurricanes history since losing another Hurricanes legend, Patrick Marleau. So I want some F's in the chat for Hurricanes legend. He is a Hurricanes legend. I want his banner next to Rod Brind'Amour and Ron Francis and Glenn Wesley when he retires. Alex Galchenyuk. And if you guys like the content I'm producing on the channel, hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys. I didn't even check. Probably tomorrow. I'm going to say probably tomorrow, but guys, I am really jet lagged, so please forgive me. It's like I never learned. Yeah, tomorrow at 5 p.m. So, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow versus Florida, which should be an interesting game considering how good Florida's been with their easy schedule, though. So, for me, Carolina's going to be a real test for Florida here tonight, as they're a team that is white hot. So, yeah, see you guys then.